Hello YouTube, it's RJ the West here, my friend Last Night VOC. There we go. Hey! Jordan hooked. Alright.
How?
Hey. What is this?
Okay.
Paperboy.
Nice.
I knew it.
I knew it too.
I had that weird feeling that it was
I
gonna be
was thinking the
Paperboy.
same. I was thinking the same. I was hoping it was Paperboy, and it is. It's of the three of these, this one's my favorite. I don't know why. I guess over the past few
Where are we
years,
going?
it was country route.
Well, it could take you all the way up to the mountain too.
Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of funny that you uploaded the video of us doing that in Warhammer, and I'm actually thinking about watching it tomorrow morning. It's interesting. It's different. I like to see my gameplay being played from another player's perspective sometimes. It's nice. Yeah, so for tomorrow's mission, everything has remained unchanged. And supposedly for the beginning of the campaign of us versus the... I don't even remember what faction I have for our allies. I'm assuming they're the Western ladies again, the hookers, but again, I don't remember. I mean, I could just do a faction swap appearance change. It wouldn't take me very long, but most of them, well, they're all gonna be in fixed wing aircraft anyway. The whole thing is supposed to be a dogfight, like a pure dogfight. And unlike yesterday, you will actually respawn in this vehicle.
Are you sure?
You saw it last night. Yep, it is very far away.
Damn, how far you need to go?
Very far away.
Took you 16 minutes to get over here.
No, it took me 4.5. The mission is a 20-minute timer, and it took me roughly almost 4.5 minutes to get here. No biggie, because once you're here, it's all smooth sailing from there. I don't know how that got between the walls, don't care. This place looks familiar. I still remember that one mission one capture job we made, what was it, last year? It was the final episode of the homeless guys. Well, the original batch of hobos that we were fighting. Ow. Ow. Owie.
Always not here to help with your boo-boo.
How powerful do you think Owie actually is in lore?
I probably not as strong as the,
Mag, an actual mag.
yeah, like the full product version of her.
Yeah, this is that train house where you gotta do the headhunter and this one is so. Oh, this one's on the outside.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've done this one, this route. Really? Oh look how far away the next one is. This is probably one of the worst routes for paper. Well, I wouldn't say that per se. I mean, you're still gonna get the mission done. It's just gonna take a few minutes longer. 4.5 minute ride there. You just gave me an idea.
I did.
What if you and I were to actually do like a death race mission where we're being chased by helicopters and we're in motorcycles, and our mission is to actually get to a destination in time before we die?
How was that giving you an idea?
And you were lobbing missiles nearby, and I'm in a motorcycle. Hippies! Hippie whippy whippies! Hippie puppies! Dead hippies! Damn. Yeah, got it. There's gotta be some muddy ass dunes.
It's not really dirt, it's more sand, so it won't be very muddy. It might be more sinky than muddy.
You mean quicksand like?
Yeah.
Ah. Good thing I got the heat on for my pad. It's cold.
Fix your heat.
Overshot it. There we. You know, I'd never made a mission that takes place up here before. What if I made a mission, like an infantry mission here?
Let's watch a white home. Let's find out. Oh no, Walter White died.
What?
There was a camper there. In the middle of nowhere. I was saying it's Walter White home. Doing his like illegal experiments.
Oh yeah. Oh no, no! Oh!
That would suck if you got the bike stuck in there.
Yes, it would.
Well, no, it wouldn't, because then you'll have to go back all the way to town to get the other one down.
No, I'm not doing that. I didn't. To be honest, I didn't even hear no train. Oh. Oh, my shirt is like so wet right now.
Why?
The rain.
Oh, I thought you were talking about real life.
Oh. Only the pits would be wet because of that other game. Don't you sweat too when you're playing that a little bit?
No, I've actually gotten used to its
Same
chaoticness.
here. Same here. I just like produce the smell. It's the smell, really. The I like the idea of some bullshit science saying men who play Warhammer 40k games tend to get higher testosterone levels because of how manly the games are.
What about a woman?
I don't know. I could actually go to Google online and I could ask. That dog just randomly spawned out of nowhere. Alright. Go ahead and make your landing. Yeah. You saw those guys sitting on their long chairs?
Nope,
Oh my god, I passed right by them.
I wasn't looking.
I don't feel like getting off my bike. I do not know how I got that in there with two fence pieces covering it. But
Magic.
best not to ask. It's a little bit of Western
D
magic.
DG is GTA magic.
Yeah, you can really aim down with this. And maybe in order for me to actually make the helicopter thing work, is I have to actually have both of us spawn in the same helicopter. That wouldn't actually be a bad idea in the future. I mean, it would make sense. When you really think about it, of all the helicopters, I could see you riding in either the back of probably Annihilator Stealth. It's a quieter helicopter. It would allow you to concentrate more. Unless you want me to give you the Chinook, the cargo bob. I don't think you want that because that's loud as fuck. We're wanted. Oh, gonna call money mutt.
Stop. All right, it'll cost. Laying around.
What kind of helicopter do you, if I were to make a mission where you and I ride in a helicopter together, what kind of helicopter do you want to ride in? You have to be the side passenger. You're going to be in side passenger. I can give you the Valkyrie, but the problem is I would be completely defenseless in fighting them, so you would have to do all the work. And speaking of the Valkyrie, I am curious why the Valkyrie is very protective of us. In that one mission that we made a couple days ago.
Don't know.
Go ahead and put the terabyte. No, not the terabyte. I gotta get that out. I hear the squishy, fluffy kitty cat. You want to switch back to your oppressor?
Why?
I'm gonna be doing some thought. Well, actually, today is the wait. Yeah, it is my turn for the buggy. Ah, stupid helmet. There we go. Damn helmet. I wish we had the option to not use. I wish we could wear our hats in cars and stuff. Oh man, I actually wish I could be outside in days like this in real life. When you get to see the beautiful sunset and stuff. I know it's a game and all, it's like 13 years old and shit, but come on. You can never get enough sunsets. Actually, I'm curious, what would a Tyranid invasion do? If there was a Tyranid invasion, what anime universe do you think? No, the Imperial Man. What if the Imperial Man were to invade an anime universe like One Piece? Do you think they would survive?
Thought we did that.
I don't know about One Piece. I am going to get my phone, though, in advance. Okay. Reflective silence.
Okay, you're going to steal a diamond shipment from Jewelry. Our client wants these rocks, but she won't pay retail price. I think we can help. Get over there and put some of our technology to use. I'll talk you through it. I thought you knew what you were doing. Okay, backup plan. Grab the diamonds and get out of there before this whole thing goes to shit. Looks like you're coming up on the jewelers.
This is literally like the only vehicle in the entire game that gives you precision backing up.
Use the drone for some reconnaissance
If you want it to.
and to
The
disable
rear
any
camera,
alarms
dead
that make
center,
you move.
literally dead center, allows you to have precision as you. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Squish. Oh, the power behind this thing. My cups.
Got them? Alright, now get them over to our client. They know these diamonds will be hot, but there's hot and there's hot.
It is interesting to say that this little alleyway is specifically designed to delay cops from entering.
Looks like the competition can see you. I hope you can handle them.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
Or they do, they just don't care.
No, I don't think a lot of them know about that. Alleyways tend to delay cops' movement. Back in the early days in GTA Online, whenever you're wanted, you best hide behind alleyways. Anywhere where there's like cut betweens or whatever. Alright.
It's
Ramped
good
up.
work, and the pay's good too. Should be with you now.
Make my way to the city in advance.
Oh, you bitch.
What happened?
Lady hit me. And then my oppressor throws me across the road. When I try to flip it back over.
Hmm.
Ouch.
What happened now?
Tree.
I thought I had a piece of hair stuck there.
Oranges.
Alright. I am curious how the Imperium of Man, an invasion of the Imperium of Man were to invade the One Piece universe. My brain is just like, this sounds so fun. I don't think Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates are gonna really do much to deal with them. They are strong. I have seen the show. I have seen the anime. They are strong, yes, but they. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna start researching. In this fictional scenario, what if the Imperium of Man from Warhammer 40k were to invade the One Piece universe? How will the Straw Hat Pirates fare against them? In a fictional scenario where the Imperial Man from Warhammer 40k invades the One Piece universe, the Straw Hat Pirates would fare exceptionally well in individual combat, but would struggle against the sheer industrial scale and orbital capabilities of the Imperium. That's one major difference. The One Piece universe are planet-bound. As far as I know, they are planet-bound.
They are.
They cannot leave the planet, which therefore already puts them at a major disadvantage anyway. While top-tier Straw Hat Pirates can handle Space Marines, they would eventually face existential threats from orbital bombardments or specialized non-physical attacks. Straw Hat Pirates versus the Imperial Man. Individual strength and combat. Post-time skip, Straw Hats are overwhelmingly powerful compared to most Imperial ground forces. Luffy at Gear 5, Zoro, Sanji, and Jinbe could likely defeat high-ranking Space Marines, Dreadnoughts, and even some elite commanders in direct combat. Speed advantage. One Piece top tiers possess speed and reaction times often exceeding 40k infantry, allowing them to blitz most ground forces. The Haki factor. Advanced Haki, particularly advanced Conqueror's Haki, could potentially disrupt armored forces or psychically powerful opponents, while Observation Haki allows them to dodge most weapons fire. The threat of exterminatus. The Imperium's primary tactic is not to fight powerful individuals, but to destroy the planet from orbit. Unless Luffy or Zoro can stop the ships, the Straw Hats would be forced to abandon their home territory. They would lose. They have no Devil Fruit heresy. Devil Fruit users would be targeted as warp-tainted mutants or heretics by the Inquisition, forcing the crew into a perpetual guerrilla war against the Imperium. Internal defense. If the Imperium uses their full military force, like the Black Templars, overwhelming numbers, billions of guardsmen, armored ships would exhaust the crew. How the crew fares? Luffy would view the Imperium as a tyrannical, not free force, making him a major chaotic threat to Imperial command. Frankie and Usopp. would thrive, likely capturing and analyzing Imperial technology, bolt doors, power armor to create new weapons. Robin would likely be the target of a massive search by the Inquisition, viewing her knowledge of history as heresy. What? Oh, God, the Imperial Man is full of xenophobic people. Sanji and Zoro would act as high-level commanders against Space Marine squads, winning most engagements. Ultimately, the Straw Hats would likely not lose in a direct fight, but would become a legendary rogue faction, constantly avoiding extermination in a universe where the enemy can burn their home from ashes to ashes in space. Alright, how about what anime universe do you want the Imperial Man to invade?
Bleach.
Bleach universe. Alright. Plot armor and gag armor is disabled. Here it comes. In this scenario, where plot armor and gag armor is disabled, an invasion of the Bleach universe by the Imperium of Man from Warhammer 40k would be a war of attrition on a galactic scale, likely resulting in massive casualties on both sides before the Imperium's overwhelming numbers and planetary destruction capabilities overcome the localized superior hacks powers of the Bleach characters. Here's an analysis of this conflict. The numbers game. The Imperium's main advantage. Scale. The Imperial Man controls millions of worlds and houses quadrillions of people. Even if the Goatee 13 wins every battle on the Soul Society, they cannot possibly destroy the sheer number of humans, the Imperial Guard, and Space Marines. Planetary destruction. The Imperium's standard doctrine is exterminatus, a total destruction of the planet's surface when facing Xenos or heresy. The Shinigami and Hollows can be strong individually, but they cannot defend a planet, like Kakura Town or Soul Society, from being vaporized from orbit by microcannons, nova cannons, or cyclonic torpedoes. The Warp and Demons. A warp rift caused by an Imperial ship could open in Soul Society, allowing demons to devour souls. Without knowledge of spiritual mechanics, the Imperium might treat Shinigami as a type of demonic possession or xenoform, prompting an intense, unforgiving Inquisition purge. Bleach's tactical advantage, speed and hacks. Speed. High-tier Shinigami and Quincy are massively faster than most Imperial forces, relative to faster than light. An average... Oh, I'm just about ready to get out of here. An average Estes or Guardsman would be slaughtered before they knew they were under attack. Hacks abilities. Characters like Jinny Urasawi, Yamamoto, Aizen, and Hwach, or Wak, or whatever, I can't pronounce it, possesses power that operates on rules the Imperium does not understand, such as the almighty... The almighty oh, yep. Whoa. I saw that. That was weird. That was almost jarring. Oh. You know, we're the robbery in progress. Which one do you think is going to be? The country bank? Big city bank?
Big bank.
Let's find out.
You know what's easier than robbing a bank? Robbing bank rob.
Let's see. Soul manipulation. Bleach characters fight on a spiritual plane. Yep, it's a country bank.
Traffic camera network.
Unless the Imperium uses specialized psychic or warp-based technology.
You gonna go into the building?
Yes. Apparently I have to look closer. Damn it. Unless the Imperium uses specialized warp-based technology, they may find it difficult to permanently kill Shinigami who require decapitation.
Then again, they don't have me.
Key matchups.
Down before more cops show
No plot armor. Space Marines versus Captains. Space Marines would be efficient against low-rank Shinigami, but would be decimated by Shaki or Banki. A single captain could slaughter thousands of guardsmen. Priarchs and the Emperor versus top tiers. The Emperor of Mankind is a psychic powerhouse capable of destroying stars or crushing opponents, putting him on par with or above top-tier Bleach characters. Without plot armor, the Emperor's ability to resist mental and temporal manipulation is high. Wandenreich Quincy versus the Imperium. The Quincy have the best chance to hold the Imperium, as they can absorb spiritual energy, Reishi, potentially turning Imperium's psychic energy into weapons. However, their low numbers would be overcome in a war of attrition.
Okay, so that is
In conclusion, the most likely outcome: internal conflict, the Shinigami excel, killing huge numbers of the Imperial forces. Escalation, the Imperium realizes conventional weaponry is ineffective, halts the ground assault, and resorts to orbital bombardment. Final stand, the top tier Shinigami, Yamamoto, Ichigo are overwhelmed by sheer fatigue or cosmic level psychic attacks from the Emperor of Mankind while their homes are being destroyed around them. The Imperium would take an absolute catastrophic loss of life, but they are too large to truly lose. In other words, Imperium of Mankind wins. Isn't that great?
How about, unless you have another one.
Let's see. If the Imperium of Man were to invade, say, the Halo universe.
I was gonna, we did talk about that. I was gonna say Fairy Tail. That's another anime.
All
It's a
right.
magic anime.
If the Imperium of Man were to invade the Halo universe, this should be rather interesting. The Covenant would not stand a chance against the Imperium of Man, dude. In a scenario where plot armor and gag armor absurdly high durability for plot reasons are disabled, the Imperium of Man from Warhammer would likely win a war of attrition against the Halo universe's Covenant and USSC through sheer scale, firepower, and tenacity. Although they would face significant logistical challenges, however, if the Forerunners or a full power flood were involved, the Imperium would be outmatched technologically and likely defeated. Interesting. Imperial advantages. Here is a breakdown of the scenario. Imperial advantages. The stomp factors. The Imperium commands millions. You know what? I'm gonna go to that place where we do fortified in advance. Before I continue onward with this thought experiment, I must go over there.
Okay, I've got a client who will take this off our hands, as long as the cops are out of the picture. Lose them and drop it off. Okay, watch yourself. We're visible to the competition.
Let's see. I think the Imperium of Man would win, but the Flood would probably prove pretty dangerous. Scale and numbers. The Imperium commands millions of worlds and resources that dwarf the Halo universe, which is generally confined to one arm of the galaxy. Even if Imperial logistics are poor, they can lose millions of soldiers and replace them without breaking production. Space combat. While Covenant ships have superior faster than light travel, slip safe is safer and more reliable than the warp. Oh, damn it. Imperial ships are far larger, ranging from 1 kilometer to over 10 kilometers for battleships, and have a far superior range and firepower. Imperial Nova ships and large lance batteries can easily devastate Covenant fleets from long range. Ground war. The Space Marines are effectively super soldiers far superior to Spartans, particularly in durability and weaponry. Titans, such as Warlords or Imperators, are colossal walking engines that are vastly superior to Covenant Scarabs. Boarding actions. Imperial boarding torpedoes and teleportation allow Space Marines to board Covenant ships and take them from over a tactic that the Covenant is ill-equipped to counter. Halo universe threats. Faster than light Covenant fleets and plasma. The Covenant has faster, more consistent FTL, which allows them to outmaneuver the Imperium and pick their battles. Their plasma weapons are highly effective, though Imperial shields, void shields, are designed to handle extreme energy loads. Forerunner tech. If the Forerunners are included, their technology is vastly superior than the Imperium's. Their ships can create slip-safe blockades, and their manufacturing capability allows them to build megastructures like the Halo rings with ease.
Okay, fine work.
The Flood. The Flood infects major factions and forms a key mind. They can hack into Imperial ship systems, effectively destroying the Imperium's ability to fight in space. Alright, let's go find that spot. It said reading takes you to places, but it also takes you around. It's pretty distracting. But it's also fun. I am overshooting it. It's over here. It's just up. But go away, Ron. Yeah, I mean, the Imperial Man, it's funny that it says they might lose in the Halo Universe War, but I have to disagree. I see what they can do. I don't think the Flood is going to be able to infect Space Marines so easily. I mean, given the fact that Space Marines have already, like, look at what they have to fight in the war. Look at what humans have to deal with in the Warhammer 40k universe. It's absolutely ridiculous. It is just war. And more war. You know what's funny? I've never once was able to make it in here without taking damage with the van. I mean, if we're like, honestly, like another cool idea is if the Imperium of Man were to invade the Elder Scrolls universe. That would be interesting too, but nah.
Of course, they added Buzz Lightyear and a Toy Story pickup truck in Fortnite.
What the hell, dude? Fortnite is.
Inbred moron! Die!
Ugh. Damn it.
Here I come!
Just making sure he's dead. Make my way to you. Alright. Hey. Let's see. Imperium of Man versus the Forerunners. The Forerunners would win by a landslide. Who are the Forerunners in Halo again?
I don't remember.
Neither do I. My Halo lore is extremely rough. Damn it. Right. Man, you really like this building, don't you?
Well, I told you it's the closest spot to the area, and
Yep.
it keeps you safe from the helicopters if they do spawn.
The Forerunners win by a landslide. They have vastly superior mobility, coordination, and industry. The Imperium would be outmaneuvered, and their ships, while strong, are less agile and lack the AI-driven coordination of Forerunners than the Forerunner. You can mean the warp aspect. If the Imperium brings the warp into the Halo galaxy, let's see. It introduces a chaotic element that the Halo factions cannot defend against, psychic corruption. However, without the Emperor's direct protection, the Imperium might also tear itself apart. In conclusion, the Imperium's massive industrial age on steroids military, specifically their capability to field specialized weapons like Titans and asteroids, allowed them to win any ground conflict. In space, their slow, heavily armored ships would win through sheer tonnage and superior long-range fire. Despite the Covenant's superior speed, the only way the Imperium loses is if Forerunner tech is active, or if they fall victim to the Flood. I'm assuming when they talk about Forerunner tech is active, I'm thinking they're talking about activating the Halo rings to destroy Imperium fleets. That's my guess. Like, the Imperium of Man were to invade the Halo universe would be a sight. You said fairy tale, right?
Yeah.
You sure you want the fairy tale universe to get destroyed by the Imperial Man?
If they can.
Probably. Let me make sure that the AI specifies that this is an anime. In this fictional scenario, what if the Imperium of Man from Warhammer 40k were to invade the fairy tale universe? Plot armor and gag armor is disabled. Without plot armor or gag armor, friendship power-ups, miraculous last-minute survival, comedic durability, the Imperium of Man from Warhammer would utterly destroy the fairy tale universe. The sheer scale, technological brutality, and the uncompromising nature of the 40k invasion would overwhelm Earthland within weeks or months. Here is a breakdown on how this scenario would unfold. Scaling and strategic disparity. In scale, Fairy Tail is a story focused on a few guilds and one continent, while the Imperium of Man operates on a galactic scale, fielding trillions of soldiers and thousands of ships capable of orbital bombardment. Plot armor and gag armor disabled. Natsu cannot simply eat magic that is too strong for him to win. Urza cannot slash through magical concepts because of sheer willpower. Makarov cannot survive fatal wounds from a dramatic speech. The inevitable end. The Imperium would treat the fairy tale world as a Xenos-infested heretical world if conventional warfare, Astra Militarum Space Marines met too much resistance. They would immediately initiate exterminatus, purging the entire planet. Like, say, fuck it, let's just nuke the planet from orbit. Ground warfare in combat. Space Marines and Custodes. Without plot armor to protect them, fairy tale mages would be slaughtered by the Space Marines. A Space Marine's bolter shoots high explosive rounds faster than most mages can react, and power armor is designed to withstand heavy weaponry. The friendship factor. The core theme of Fairy Tail, winning through emotions, would be irrelevant. The Imperium's Psychers and Inquisitors would weaponize this, turning emotion-driven magic into a gateway for chaos corruption. Mages versus Titans. Warlord Titans would erase Magnolia City in a single volley. Top-tier mages like Aconolia or Zerov might destroy a few Titans, but they would eventually be overwhelmed by relentless, endless reinforcements. Magical hazards. Chaos corruption. The sheer negativity and intensity of a war would attract chaos demons. Without plot armor to resist it, mages who use intense magic like Zerev's Anchor black magic might fall to Xenic or Quorm, turning the defenders against each other. Anti-magic psychic nulls. Sisters of Silence or Inquisitors with high psychic tech would neutralize the mage's ability to cast magic entirely, leaving them defenseless humans. The final stand. No plot armor. Without the ability to pull a victory out of nowhere, the strongest mages would die. Anconolia, am I even saying that right?
Hmm.
Would face thousands of last cannons and orbital bombardment. Yes, I'm on PlayStation. Before he, alright, they would face thousands of last cannons and orbital bombardment before he could reach the ships. Zareth, having transcended time, might survive the initial physical assault, but would likely be captured by the Inquisition for study or incinerated by a Primarch. In conclusion, without their plot-induced survival, the Fairy Tale Guild is a group of powerful glass cannons fighting an enemy that is both nuclear-proof and endless. The Imperium wins. Damn. I mean, right now, the only actual universe that can fend them off is the Warframe universe.
What about the SCP universe?
And it's possible, but we'll have to wait until I do another mission that allows us to read. No, my friend and I are doing a session on our own. It's personal policy of ours. Thank you for asking, though. Alright, what's the next job that we can... Oh, wait, I should probably go... Nah, I don't care about the money. I really don't. I have like 64 million... Actually, I don't even know how much... How much money do I have in my thing? I'm gonna check. Okay, 60... Okay, I have way more than I thought. Way more than I thought. Wait for it to click. Just wait for the click.
I am back up to 4 million.
Oh yeah, good for you. 4 million.
Well, I had less than that when I bought
You
the
did.
upgrades. I had only like a 1,000
That was when.
when I bought the terabyte and the oppressor.
Gracie, there's my squishy, fluffy kitty cat. Alright, what time is it? Oh shit! I'm gonna turn my pad back on. Ah. Come on, Gracie. You wanna sit up here with Daddy?
I'm curious how the Imperial Man will fare against the SCP world.
They probably would lose, but like, well, the Imperial Man is just massive. Like, there's just a lot of them.
Well,
Like,
they have a lot of immortal deities in the SCP world.
Yeah. The Warframes, when he sent a few Warframes in there like a few days ago in the thought experiment, they all survived. Well, the ones that you and I picked, the other ones, not Limbo or anything, they got contained. Like Varuna and what's her face got contained.
It was the spider chick.
Yeah, Korra and Oraxia were contained. Gracie, my squishy fluffy kitty. 68. 68. 68. Alright, you said the SCP world universe?
Yeah.
Alright. In a scenario where the Imperial Man invades the SCP universe with plot armor and the Imperium's tendency to survive via narrative necessity and gag armor, absurdly high, jokey SCP are disabled. The conflict becomes a battle of absolute resources versus pseudo-physical reality manipulation. Without plot armor, the Imperium is a stagnant, ineffective empire encountering an enemy that weaponizes abstract concepts, time travel, and reality bending. Conversely, without gag armor, many SCPs are merely physical threats, easily destroyed by orbital bombardment, making the conflict a complex, high-stakes war rather than an immediate stomp.
Great job. Your payment should be in your
Here
account
is
now.
a breakdown of... Well, let's see. Are you willing to run plowed? Gotcha, we got 1 minute and 50 seconds left. I'll just sit out here and read it out. Initial engagement, the meat grinder. The Imperium's advantage. The Imperium of Man possesses overwhelming numbers, logistics, and raw firepower compared to modern-day Earth, which is usually the focal point of the SCP Foundation. Initially, they would likely assume the Foundation is a chaotic, incompetent entity protecting Xenos, leading to a brutal purge of many contained anomalies. The tech swap. The Adeptus Mechanicus. Oh my god, I am butchering those words.
It's a weird word to say, too.
It's like in. I swear this stuff is in Latin or something, or at least like Roman or something. I'm so rusty in 40k. The tech swap. The Adeptus Mechanicus would likely reverse engineer Foundation technology, while the Foundation would attempt to turn paratech, anomalous tech, against the invaders. The turning point, reality and meta-narrative, anti-warp capabilities. The Foundation's Scranton reality anchors could perform similar feats to Cadian polylons, neutralizing the warp and cutting off demon reinforcements, a massive blow to the Imperium's mystical defenses. The pataphysics threat. The Imperium of Man's greatest one of the Imperium's weaknesses is the lack of understanding of metaphysical combat. The Foundation's pataphysics department, dealing with narrative-level threats, SCPs that alter the story itself, would likely stop the Imperium by editing the narrative, changing their invader role to contained object. The indestructible problem. Entities like SCP-682, without comedic "I survived because I'm a joke" armor, might still be killed by constant focused orbital extremitous level bombardment. Actually, fully loaded would be better. Wow. Jordan, are you noticing that? They placed the car in the city, man. It's not like out in the outskirts.
That's not unusual.
Alright, let me read this next paragraph before I go after this one. Key factors in the conflict. Chaos Gods versus SCPs. The Chaos Gods might be treated as Class K apocalypse scenarios, Keter class by the Foundation. If the Foundation can contain the Scarlet King, they could likely contain the Chaos Gods, though it would be a mad-based reality loop, mutually assured destruction. Alright, I'll read the next paragraph when I upload this kid. Don't get shot. Yay, got one. Yay. In one of the missions for the Dragon Strikes, Jordan, I'm thinking you and I are going to be we're going to be fighting explosive vehicles. We're going to, you know how like we're doing this mission right now?
What about it?
What we can do... Oh.
We can roll around, is that what we can do?
Let's see. Okay, so I read that one. The O5 Council versus Terra. The O5 Council is highly flexible and adaptable compared to the stagnant Imperium. Their ability to innovate would likely allow them to develop targeted weaponry against Space Marines and Primarchs. The Emperor. The Emperor of Mankind would be likely viewed as a massive Thaumarural threat. friendly contained object, but even if he would struggle against mid to high level SCPs that see reality as a narrative to be rewritten. Or I might as well just say the last ones. In summary of the outcome, Imperium victory. Once they act instantly, with full knowledge, and immediately focus all firepower on the Foundation sites before anomalies can be utilized. The SCP Foundation victory. Most likely. The Foundation's capacity to manipulate time, rewrite reality, pataphysics, and utilize conceptual weaponry like SCP-27919 and SCP-3309 gives them the edge, as these are concepts of the Imperium has no defense against. The Imperium would eventually be overwhelmed by paradoxical threats they simply cannot shoot or chainsword. Nice, you took them out. Well, the Warframe universe and the SCP universe can take them out. That's nice. Let's go after this one. Hey, so since tomorrow's mission is going to be a full-blown air-to-air combat, do you know, like, I never really gave us a true exercise in having to deal with land-based threats with missils while you are in the missile vehicle too. So it got me thinking. I am going to give us back I'm going to give us the Toreador, or actually the Ruiner. I'm going to give you the Ruiner. No, actually, I'll give us both Ruiners. It's only fair. It would also save model memory limit, too. And, we would be up against... I think I can... I'm actually kind of curious if I can give the Vigilante... If I can get a Vigilante in... Ah, that's so nice. Well, actually, there's not a lot of vehicles in Mission Creator I can give that allow to use rockets. I don't want to overuse the scramjet. We've already used it before. And I'm not going to lie, the scramjet actually makes a pretty decent chase unit. If I'm being honest, like... It is kind of funny to say that the Future Shock Girls Party is supposed to be exclusively lasers, but that's impossible because in GTA Online's Mission Creator, or like I only have access to the vanilla game itself. If I actually had it my way, I would actually convert all the skins and cosmetics and sound effects to laser weapons for the Future Shock Girls Party. Like their jetpacks would have laser cannons instead of machine guns, and it would actually do considerably a little bit. I would modify them to do slightly more damage. They would have more piercing power. Like they would do more damage against vehicles than they would to people. Soft targets, they don't like. They just go right through and do minimal damage. But against vehicles, they would actually do a lot more. And they would also have like miniature shields. Like I said, like imagine if I made my own video game and the Future Shock Girls Party was a faction that you actually had to fight. Like they would actually have like little shields for their thrusters. Like the jetpacks are definitely iconic for them. In my years of making capture jobs and like slowly building more and more lore to just a bunch of girls in bikinis using laser guns, like you'd think there's nothing to it, but the more I add into it, it's like you end up creating something, like an idea, and then just going on with it. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm closer. You know what? That's fine. I'm going to make my way there. I see you need to rearm. Looking at the time. And we still got time to do another one.
Well, the 5-star at least.
Yeah, the 5-star, yeah. Alright, so if I give us both Ruiners, and we're going to be hunting, say... Actually, what I should do is give us... I could just give us the Toreador. and actually have us fighting ruiners instead. But here's the thing though, the ruiner is not exactly their signature vehicle. As a matter of fact, years ago when I actually made the Chinese Mafia guys, their signature vehicle is actually the Paragon R armored. The armored Paragon R. And that's basically it. That's their signature vehicle. And it's a bright red vehicle too. Ugly as sin. No, it's actually a beautiful looking car. I think you get it as a reward for something. I don't remember what it was. Okay, what about the Tyranids from... Alright, what would happen if the Tyranids were to invade the Helldivers universe? Yeah. Now, if I understand correctly, the Helldivers are not super soldiers per se. And I'm not sure how strong those Terminids are, but from the looks of things, if they can get killed by regular humans that are like borderline suicidal, then I think the Terminids would just get annihilated by the Tyranids. In my opinion. I'll start that. And a 3, a 2, a 1. You thought I was actually going to start the actual challenge, right? No. I'll start it once we get there so I have more time to read. Let's see. Who can be on floor number 2? No. Who can be on floor number 3? There you are. This is like his favorite floor. Alright. Let's see. What was... Oh yeah, Tyranids. The Tyranids... Oops. Were to invade the Helldivers. Universe. Well, in this fictional scenario, what if the Tyranids from Warhammer 40k were to invade the Helldivers universe? Without plot armor or gag armor to save them, a Tyranid high fleet invasion of the Helldivers universe would likely result in a rapid eradication of Super Earth. Despite the Helldivers' high yield firepower, the Tyranids represent a significantly higher power scale than the Terminids, focusing on total consumption and analysis. Adaptation and numbers. Tyranids adapt to mid-campaign, evolving defenses against specific weapons, while Helldivers can handle Bile Titans, considered medium-sized in this scenario. They would be overwhelmed by Lictors, Hive Tyrants, and trillions of Gots. Trillions, with a T, of God. Ineffective tactics. Tyranids do not hold territory. They devour it, rendering planets barren rocks. Their ability to burrow deep underground, hundreds of meters, means conventional orbital strikes would fail to reach them. Ground disparity. Lore accurate Tyranids would easily slice through armored Helldivers, who are merely enhanced humans compared to the super soldier capability required for a prolonged Tyranid conflict. Space and strategic warfare. Orbital supremacy. The Tyranid Hive Fleet consists of moon-sized bioships that can likely outmatch Super Earth's navy. If Super Earth cannot win the space battle, they lose the ground war automatically. Shadow in the Warp, adapted. While Super Earth doesn't use the warp, a Hive Fleet produces a shadow in the warp that disrupts intelligence, coordination, and communications over a wide sector. Gene Stealer cults. The insidious nature of gene stealers would lead to subversion of Super Earth's core worlds, causing internal collapse before the main fleet arrives. In conclusion, without the plot armor that allows for comical escapes or specialized dark fluid solutions, Super Earth, reliant on relatively conventional fuels, strong orbital orbit would not stop the sheer volume of organic biomass the Tyranids deploy. The conflict would likely end in a total low-effort win for the hive mind. In other words, Helldivers universe is wiped. Like Super Earth is gone. And we already know if they die, the other factions in the Helldivers universe go out too. Terminids would not stand a chance against Tyranids. I mean, you've played Helldivers too. I may not have played it, but the Terminids are kind of meh compared to Tyranids, which are freaking terrifying. Like, how about Tyranids versus Xenomorph invasion? Oh.
What?
Nothing. I'm gonna go for a full-on war. Like, what if the Tyranids were to go into total war against Xenomorphs? Oops, damn it, stupid numbers. Xenomorphs. From the Aliens universe. Alright, in this fictional scenario, what if the Tyranids from Warhammer 40k were to go into total war against Xenomorphs from the Aliens universe? Plot armor and gag armor is disabled. In a total war scenario between Tyranids from Warhammer and Xenomorphs from Aliens, with plot armor and gag armor disabled, the Tyranids win decisively and absolutely, often described as a stomp or a no-diff victory. While Xenomorphs are formidable, they are functionally a smaller, less advanced version of the Tyranid war machine. Here is a breakdown of the conflict. The scale in numbers. Galactic versus local. Tyranid hive fleets are colossal, boasting numbers that can overwhelm entire galaxies, whereas Xenomorphs are generally confined to localized infestations. Biomass recycling. Tyranids consume all biomass on a planet, including their own dead, to create new troops, ensuring an endless supply of soldiers. Physical and combat capabilities. Weight class difference. A standard Xenomorph warrior weighs roughly 200 kilograms, whereas a comparable Tyranid warrior weighs closer to 1,200 kilograms, allowing for far greater kinetic force. Firepower. Tyranids field ranged bioweapons, death splitters, and devourers that can liquefy organic matter from a distance, whereas Xenomorphs are predominantly melee focused. Titan class forms. Xenomorphs have no counter to Bio-Titans or Carnifexes, which can crush a Xenomorph hive effortlessly. Adaptability, the crucial factor. Rapid adaptation. While Xenomorph acid blood is a potent defense, the Tyranid hive mind rapidly evolves to overcome weaknesses. After a few initial encounters, subsequent Tyranid bioforms would likely develop acid-resistant chitin or biological countermeasures, rendering the acid blood useless. Controlled evolution. Xenomorphs incorporate local genes via facehuggers, which is a slow parasitic process. Tyranids use superior gene manipulation to consume and integrate genetic material instantaneously, affecting turning Xenomorphs into Tyranids. intelligence and command. Hive mind versus the Queen. While a xenomorph Queen is intelligent, she cannot match the collective tactical intelligence of the Tyranid hive mind, which possesses eons of experience fighting galactic powers. Gene Stealer President. Precedent. Gene Stealers and Lictors are already superior equivalents to Xenomorphs in the 40k universe. In summary of the fight, the Xenomorphs might win an initial localized battle, but they will eventually be consumed. The Tyranids would harvest the Xenomorphs' genetic material, especially their acid blood and rapid growth properties, to integrate it into their own, making the Tyranid swarm even more terrifying while silencing the Xenomorph forever. Damn. Check what time it is. Man, Warhammer 40k is really messed up, isn't it? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna try. What if I'm gonna do one more thought experiment? Alright, it is fictional scenario. What if the Warhammer 40k is finally at peace and all wars stopped? This would drive people mad. They actually took a few. In a fictional scenario where the Warhammer 40k universe achieves total lasting peace, the setting fundamentally, the setting would fundamentally cease to be grimdark, leading to the collapse, radical transformation, or stagnation of its major factions. Because the universe is constructed on the premise of only war, the cessation of conflict would trigger a systemic crisis where the Imperium might implode, chaos would starve, and orcs would lose their purpose. Here is a breakdown of what this scenario would look like. The collapse of the Imperium of Man. Oh my god. Let's see. The Imperium is a totalitarian war economy and in a theocratic dictatorship that relies on external threats to justify its brutality. Internal implosion. Without Xenos or Chaos to fight, the massive bloated war machine would literally turn inward. The Inquisition would likely purge itself, and the Astra Militarum and Space Marines designed only for slaughter would fall into violent civil wars. Rebirth of the Emperor. Peace might allow the Emperor to finally leave the Golden Throne, but instead of ruling, he might allow the Imperium to splinter, as his goal was originally to guide humanity toward the new path, not manage a stagnant empire. Economic collapse. Many hive worlds exist solely to produce ammunition and soldiers. Without war, these populations would face massive starvation and unemployment, collapsing under their own weight. The starvation and transformation of chaos. The Chaos Gods are fueled by the extreme emotions of sentient beings. A peaceful universe reduces the intensity of these emotions, starving the gods. Khorne's end. Khorne, the god of rage and blood, would lose the most, potentially fading into insignificance. Slaanesh risk. Without war, the galaxy might turn to hedonistic pursuits, creating an excess of free time that could lead to widespread depravity, similar to the fall of the Eladari, potentially birthing new, even more insidious horrors. The inevitable return. True peace is hard for chaos to tolerate. Scenes would likely orchestrate crisis to keep the galaxy in a state of chaos. The gods would likely return in new forms after centuries or even millennia. Factional reformatting. Orcs. Deprived of war, orcs would become bored and restless. They might turn to localized gladiatorial combat, fighting each other in arenas to get their scrap without destroying the entire galaxy. The Tal Empire. They would likely thrive and they would thrive and likely expand, spreading their greater good rapidly through diplomacy and technology. However, they might be targeted by the remnants of the Imperium's xenophobic actions. The Necrons. They would become guardians of their own tomb world sectors, potentially forming a rigid, silent peace in their regions of space. The Silent King might use his technology to seal off the warp completely, making demonic incursions impossible. The Eldari. They would likely try to rebuild their empire, focusing on restoring the Maiden Worlds and avoiding Slaanesh. However, they would likely be viewed as with suspicion by a newly peaceful but still xenophobic human empire. The long-term consequence, stagnation and corruption. If the universe did not descend into new eternal wars, it would likely fall into a state of passive disintegration, loss of purpose. The galaxy would become soft, taking its blessings for granted. The cycle repeats. Without old threats, humanity might revert to the techno hedonism that caused the Age of Strife, leading to a new, worse apocalypse. In conclusion, in summary, the only way for there to be no more war in the 40k universe is to have no longer be the 40k. The setting will have to change its fundamental DNA. This sounds horrible, dude. In a universe that's specifically built for never-ending conflict, the fate is worse than, like, it sounds like
Death.
peace is worse than war.
Worse than death, probably, for them.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and thank you guys for watching. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.